my
It's not
co-host
fake news.
getting clickbaited into reading this story.
It's the
But
truth.
it's submissive MJR exposed, allegedly. And so the end of those 5 games, they're saying Jordan steals in the box score. By watching the game that he saw 8 steals in those 5 games, he had 15 fewer than the box score said he had. So it says it wasn't even 50-50 calls where he was getting benefit of the doubt every time. It was just straight up imaginary ones sometimes. So I don't know. It looks like somebody that has too much time on their hand trying to deride LeBron. But it doesn't matter what you do. Jordan is still 6-0 in the finals, and LeBron has a losing record in the finals. He's lost way more than he's won.
That got swept
He
back.
got outplayed by J.J. Barea and Jason Terry and Deshaun Stevenson in the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
Jason Kidd was even better.
Y'all
than
got
that
swept
finals.
back to back by. Y'all got swept back to back. What are you talking about?
Once the Bulls got their real team together,
Oh my
they
God,
went
here I
on.
go.
They won 6 and 8 years. Michael took off 2 years. He came back like 5 games before the playoffs, and then was rusty.
So he
and
quit.
still almost went to the
So
finals.
basically,
that
he-
first year back.
He basically played. He was getting whooped.
No, what happened was he retired, and
He's
he
getting
was
whooped.
like, you know what? I'm getting bored of playing baseball. I'm getting bored of playing golf.
Because he was trash at baseball too.
You take that back. So he was like, you know what? They filmed Space Jam, and he had a bunch of the guys show up, like Patrick Ewing and Sean Kemp and Charles Barkley and
Spud.
some of the greats
Spud
back
Webb?
then. Carl Malone. I don't know if
Was it
Spud Webb was there.
Muggsy?
Muggsy Bogues was
You
maybe
know what's
around
funny? Now it makes sense why he put Muggsy in it instead of Isaiah Thomas.
because he was better. Shout out the real Muggsy. He wasn't. Isaiah wasn't even as good as Spud Webb.
Disrespect. But
But it looks like the LeBron fans are grasping at straws.
what?
And
It's the
apparently
truth.
this guy was born in Cleveland, Ohio. So, he's all in LeBron.
We
So
got a video right here, man. Play the video. He gonna speak the
Yes.
facts. We gonna come in, let you know some other fudging of the books is going on, and let you know if it's still going on currently.
we better
What's
watch
your
what you
favorite team?
say or we're going to show you the fudging.
Pause.
And so at the end of those 5 games, Vinny, there were 23 steals in the box score in those 5 games for Michael Jordan. And by watching the game independently, the scorekeeper and I, we saw 8. 8 steals for Michael Jordan in those 5 games, 1.6 per game. And that is 15 fewer than the box score said he had.
MJ getting his legacy altered 30 years later is nuts. Nothing is getting altered. Nothing is changing. Even if you got a couple, favorable decisions there about, steals or, blocks. He's still that guy, man. At the end of the day, LeBron never had that true lockdown D like Michael Jordan. And of course, you can find people scoring on anyone. Even the best defenders got scored on or dunked on every once in a while. But as far as I remember, Michael Jordan never got dunked on by Nick Young.
What you said about Nick Young?
Yeah, Nick Young dunked on LeBron.
But you get crushed by Allen Iverson.
The icon?
I guess so. Whatever. Oh, nice.
He's-
He got locked down by Gary Payton when Gary Payton was on one leg.
Gary Payton was good.
He was on one
He
leg.
didn't get locked down, though.
They
Still
lost.
scored-
That's when they started
He
winning.
still scored over 30 points.
They still lost.
What do you mean they won the finals?
But they still lost
beat
that
the
game.
Supersonics.
They lost that game. They didn't lose that game.
They told Sean Kemp and Gary Payton go home.
Oh Lord! But
They said we turned the rain off on the Rain Man.
now that I'm back, I mean, I got
They said if the glove don't fit, you must have quit
horrible.
these finals.
now that I'm back, man, I'm gonna hit y'all with the facts because my coach, he be glazing Jordan so hard. He ain't gonna tell you the truth, man. They've been padding the stats.
You
man.
should know. You're from the 80s. You saw most of his legacy.
They've been padding this stats. They saying basically all of the home game. Well, a lot of the home games is all that happens. It doesn't happen in the away games. I mean, think about it. I mean, they was counting everything. Anytime that basically, let's say Dennis Rodman pass gets thrown, Dennis Rodman tips the ball and it lands in Jordan's hand. Some people give still the Dennis Rodman, but nah, they don't give it to Jordan. But let's say if it was the other way around, if it was Steve Kerr, Steve Kerr catches the ball after Jordan tips it, they ain't giving that steal to Steve Kerr. They giving it to Jordan. That's cheating.
Of course.
Exactly, they doing that.
It's called Black Jesus rules.
Exactly, they're saying it's games where like they're saying, oh, the game had 10 turnovers total. Michael Jordan had 10 steals, which basically means there were no turnovers. It was basically a perfect game. Besides the fact that Jordan's still in the ball, nobody stepped out of bounds. There were no other turnovers. Even every center played perfect basketball. No traveling, no nothing. Which basically iffy. And they looked it up and they found out that Jordan didn't have that many. He didn't have 10 steals. He had like 3, 4.
He had 6.
That was that.
They were saying that the NBA even put out the video and they're like, Jordan's record-breaking 10-steal game, and they show the highlights and they mix in like dunks and jump shots. But if you actually look at it, it was only 6 steals.
They
probably got the old footage of the game and could only find it. But that's probably because the footage was lost.
True, they got that. Michael Jordan isn't the only person that was basically messing up their stats. They're saying like this is happening. This basically happened all through the whole Adam Silver era. Basically, like he was basically trying to make basketball look like it's the biggest thing possible. So I kind of understand. He's trying to grow the sports. Cause, they're saying the same thing. That anything basically, and they talked about anything basically that can be perception. And it's like you can't like a point is a point. You can't. It's hard to really do points unless sometimes people shoot a 3 and they say, oh no, it was a 2, but it was really a 3. And then instead of showing the replay, the other team just hurry up and score. So you just never show the replay and never see it. You have those situations. But when it comes to like steals, assists, rebounds, you can fudge the books. Because what are you really counting?
It just depends on what the scorekeeper looks at. Because if you tip the ball, do you get the rebound or the guy that actually catches the tip? They could look at it one way or the other.
The Dennis Rodman thing was crazy when they told me that, how like Dennis Rodman tips the ball 3 times.
Supposedly Dennis Rodman used to average like 18 rebounds a game. That he allegedly used to tip the ball to himself like 3 times before he catch it, so he'd get like 3-4 rebounds off of one possession. That's kind of messed up. But if you look at his stats, no matter where he was, in Detroit or San Antonio, or for the Bulls, he was still getting like 12 to 18. So he's still a great rebounder, still probably the greatest rebounder that ever lived, especially for his size.
True. They talk about blocks, how it was times where Jordan got a block and he also fouled at the same time, or they're not supposed to count the block. They still count it and they give Jordan the foul. So it's crazy.
Oh yeah, like there's one of those things where like, oh, he blocked the ball, but then he fouled him with the body, so that he's supposed to not count it. But they're saying, oh, the block happened before the foul, so it does count.
Exactly. And they're blaming.
It's that home cooking stuff.
That home cooking stuff. They're blaming Bob Rosenberg. He's the person. He's been working with the Bulls for like almost 2-3 decades. He's like one of the oldest scorekeepers that's out there. They're saying that. He's been doing it for years.
This all funded by LeBron.
You think this whole thing was funded by
campaign?
I understand.
It was probably co-funded by LeBron and Isaiah Thomas.
But think about it.
He's still salty about the Olympics.
Let's see. But think about it. It's still. Think about it. Does this mean anything?
No.
If you take away this one award for Jordan, is he number 2? Is Kobe better than him now?
No.
Kobe still not better?
Kobe only won 5. And 3 of his finals MVPs, went to Shaq. Jordan won 6 championship, 6 finals MVP. He never was carried like Jason Tatum or Kobe. Because when you're the best player on the best team, you win MVP.
Oh, Lord.
There was never even a close time where Scottie Pippen almost got MVP over Jordan. Scottie Pippen contributed all the time. He's an amazing player.
Mm-hmm.
He's great, one of the first point forwards ever, or ones that changed the game. And but it was never close. That's like what people say, like, oh, you say Jason Tatum's so good in that, but when you're the best player on your team, it's supposed to not be close. Like, Luka is clearly the best player on this team, even though Kyrie's a generational player that may have, the best dribble package that ever existed. Without a doubt, Luka's the best player.
But at the same time, you could say Scottie was up there with Jordan.
No, that's the thing, though. He wasn't.
Because think about it.
It wasn't close, though. Like,
without each other, they wasn't winning at all. When Jordan had...
Well, no, they were a great team. but it wasn't close. He needed him as a teammate because he needed to have a good team. But as far as looking at them and what they produced, it wasn't close. Jordan was scoring like 35 points a game while Scotty was scoring 18.
When they were both when the other
When they
one
were
wasn't
both
there?
good.
No, I'm talking about so when Jordan was on the Bulls before Pippen, and then when Jordan left and retired, and when it was just only Pippen, who had the better season? Who's the real? That's how you can tell who's the real better. Or because they were saying Jordan was cheating. Jordan cheated on defense. He used to he didn't really play all up on you. He really played he really roamed around and
He was like a free safety.
And he threw the ball. And they said he
did
always
that.
gambled.
I mean, especially if he felt like there was a guy that maybe like Scotty had the tougher matchup. Maybe the other team's best player was a little bigger than he was, so he would let Scotty take that matchup. And then maybe he didn't think that much of his guy he was guarding, so he might roam. Because, Michael would guard the 1 or 2.
Jordan plays that Luka. That Luka defense.
I mean, but when you do everything on offense, you got to rest somewhere. Jordan was just good enough where he didn't need that. That's what makes Jordan like an all-time great. Is that he was able to do it on both ends.
Kobe did it on both ends.
Kobe was up there.
See, exactly.
But at the end
LeBron
of the day,
did it on both ends.
On the end of the day, though, he wasn't the best player on 3 out of his 5 finals. That was definitely Shaq.
I guess
So that's what I'm saying. There's levels to this. Even though Kobe got 5 and Tim Duncan got 5. Tim Duncan is probably. It's crazy that people disrespect Tim Duncan, and I hate Tim Duncan. So don't get like I'm glazing Tim Duncan because I hate him. I used to love when Amari Stoudemire would dunk in his face, but he has a career that's arguably better than Kobe's.
You think so?
Yeah.
How many MVPs? Do you have, I think 2, 3.
He got what? So he got the same amount of rings. They both got 5. But Tim Duncan, what? How many Finals MVPs? He won the first one. I want to say Tony Parker won one.
Mm-hmm.
So he might got.
Did Mano win one?
I don't remember.
I know
I'm a little foggy on that because I never loved the Spurs like that.
I think Kawhi won the other one.
Kawhi won one and Tony won one.
I remember that Kawhi.
So
Tony.
yeah, I think that's right. So I'm pretty sure he won 3 out of his 5, which is a little better. Instead of winning 2 out of 5, he won 3 out of 5.
I guess
that wasn't cheating against LeBron.
It was like 1,200 degrees in the.
If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Horrible. It's worse than them saying, "Oh yeah, every time the visitor team comes to a new locker room, the other visiting teams, the home team's locker room,
But
imaginally the AC don't work, the water don't work,
exactly,
the vending machines don't work."
Why are you at the vending machines? But nothing's changed here. Jordan's still the GOAT. LeBron, still top 5. But at the end of the day, we already know this debate is settled. Because even though LeBron broke a longevity record, such as a scoring title, scoring over 40,000 points, whenever he broke that record, you know what both of his sons, Bryce and Bronny, were wearing?
Oh, my God.
They were wearing Jordans. If this man is so great, why wouldn't his own children wear his shoes on the night he's breaking a record? But they're like, we still have to remind Dad. Because, kids tell you the ugly truth. Oh, they say kids say the darndest things. And the kids did say the darndest things. Bryce and Bronny said, Dad, you think you're good, but it's still Team Jordan over here. When your own sons that you spawned, that you put into existence, say that this man is more iconic and this is a more iconic silhouette, I mean, what can you say?
The same thing Ryan Garcia said when he saw the Michael Jordan shoes on the shoe video. The hell did Michael Jordan do for the hood?
Teach him how to read.
Nothing. What? He taught you how to fly.
Comment down below if you were a child in the 90s in the school library. There's Michael Jordan posters everywhere with him with books. So he cared more about the children and molding young minds than he cared about the BS politics that adults create and deal with, that half of it's fabricated and not even real. It's all narratives that they push and agendas they push. So Michael Jordan said, screw the agendas, screw the narratives. I'm going to teach these kids how to read so they can decipher the information themselves and be the best adults that they can be. He's right up there with Brett Favre getting money for women's sports.
Horrible. All right, moving on to more basketball news. Looks like